Okay.
Giving a voice to the voiceless. We share the stories behind our freedoms and the ultimate sacrifice of those who protect us all. This is Patriots Inside the Wire.
Patriot, someone who was willing to give his life for his country and serve honorably in Iraq.
Beautiful thing to see the family and friends come together and honor his life and his service to our country.
Great to see you guys out here. This is awesome, really.
Welcome to the Patriots Inside the Wire broadcast, hosted by Gold Star mom, Tracy Two-Step.
Hello, welcome to the show, Patriots Inside the Wire. I am Tracy. Glad to have you here tonight. Tonight it is combination night. It is Patriots Inside the Wire with Two-Step Tribe. Welcome to the show, Dr. Gloria Garcia. How are you doing tonight, Gloria?
Great. How are you, Tracy? Thank you for having me here.
Of course. Thank you for being here. So welcome to Patriots Inside the Wire. And obviously, you know a lot about Two-Step Tribe. Let's let our audience grab your friends and your loved ones and share this. It's a live broadcast, a live network, and we're on the radio live. We'd love for you to meet Dr. Garcia, and what she will be talking about is her experience of working in the VA and also having someone in her life, a veteran, and how that impacted her family and what she's on a mission to do now to make a difference in the community. So, Dr. Garcia, I'm going to call you Gloria because I have
Yes, so, yeah.
So, welcome to the show, Patriots Inside the Wire combination night, Two-Step Tribe. We've got a surprise later, everyone. So, stay tuned. Trust me on that one. So, Gloria, you're a doctor. You've also worked in the VA system. I'd want to start there and then also get into a little bit about the impact that you've had personally by having someone that's a veteran in your life that we unfortunately don't have with us. But what is your point of view where you've been in your life experience as a doctor and working within the VA?
Well, I worked in the VA and I also worked at the Naval Hospital in Chicago. I did my training at Chicago Medical School, and one of our rotations was the VA and the Great Lakes Naval Hospital. And back then the VA was did not run very smoothly, so we had to really do things ourselves. So it was quite a challenge because everything was the people that were working there, everything took forever. So we would race down golf carts and underneath the tunnels and get the CAT scan orders in and so forth. Wow. And the veterans were always great. They were always very thankful. They had the most, a lot of different unique illnesses that we took care of, many, compounded illnesses. So it was a good experience for me. And the Great Lakes Naval Hospital was great because it was we went from the older of the VA to the younger crowds, we used to call them the fluffies, because they'd come off the bus and then we'd just line it up and say, okay, you're getting all your shots, drop your pants. And it was
wow.
Fun.
So Gloria, were you one of those individuals, they do get a lot of vaccines when they join the military. Are you saying that you were actually doing that?
Yeah, well, they had to. It was, mandated.
You did it literally as a doctor. Did you actually
do it? We'd give the orders, and we had great corpsmen at the Naval Hospital and great assistants, PAs, and they would take care of those that just dropped your pants, and we'll line them up like 20 and.
Wow. Yes, yeah. I mean there are a lot of them given. And then, how long were you there at the Naval Hospital?
Oh. Well, my training was 3 years, so I spent pretty much throughout the 3 years. We did a lot of the rotations there, like half the year, we'd spend maybe 3 months at the VA, another 3 months, at the Great Lakes Naval Hospital. And then there was a couple other hospitals we rotate downtown in Chicago. So, yeah. Wow. But it was a great experience. And the doctors at the Naval Hospital, I got to say, those doctors were pretty amazing, and they really knew their stuff, and they were great teachers. And some of the advice they'd give us, I still use it to this day, and always quote them because they just had great one-liners like, do it yourself and cover your ass. That was the first thing they told us my very first day in residency.
Wow. So, Gloria, I'm getting a message here that I wanted to get to you. So, working within the Naval Hospital, and we talked about the vaccines and all, you mentioned unique illnesses. You are correct. So, within the veteran community and serving and in the VA, after you've been serving, you've been deployed, there's certain things that happen. You do come home with very rare, you're sick.
Yeah.
You're sick physically.
Yes.
There are a lot of things that happen. Can you give me some of your background experience in that?
Well, there was a lot of mental illness as well. And, we used to run a unit, which was actually the alcohol detox unit. And we had a lot of people come in every weekend that, many people we'd have to admit. And a lot of these folks, they come in, they leave, it was very hard to get them off of either alcohol or drugs. So that was, it was kind of a little bit difficult. Also, the older folks, the older guys, they had a lot of high blood pressure, a lot of heart disease, just a lot of emphysema, just a lot of different, it's like hard living, hard living, a lot of diseases.
Well, what about, so, Desert Storm, there's a lot of this, and even through Vietnam and before, Agent Orange, there's a lot of problems with the burn pits and the lungs being exposed to that. So what is your experience behind that?
Well, we had a lot of people come in with, a lot of, the end result is lung damage and emphysema. And we'd have a lot of people with asthma, emphysema. They come in, very critical, and we'd have to kind of tune them up. But once those scars form, they're there. They're not going to go away. So all you can do is optimize their care. And especially with all the smoke and all the other toxins that they were inhaling. And look at the people in 9/11. A lot of these people have gotten cancers and just very many diseases, especially respiratory.
Very much respiratory, especially the burn pits. I'm glad that you're watching, you're tuning in. Anyone that would be backstage, we're in the studio tonight, which is Patriots Inside the Wire with the Tree of Valor. So tonight with the Tree of Valor, they're on their way over to with Dr. Garcia here, Gloria, and the lungs, the burn pits. A lot of people have lost their lives. Not just from the service that they've given, that's an ultimate sacrifice just to sign up in itself, but 1%. And, really, when you sign up like that, you think about, okay, there's a risk that I can lose my life one way. You don't know there are so many other things that go on that you as a medical doctor would look at and go, yes, being exposed to these things, and then how we're taking care of people as they come home. The number one thing that I see and I hear, there's two. The system is full of red tape and so slow. The VA is like horribly slow and so much red tape. The recognition that there is an illness that's there because it's not a common illness. It's something you get by serving and things you've been around. And then I'm going to give you another one on top of that to answer. And that is the emotional triggers that you get from serving. And then you come home and whoa, we do not have a process that needs to be there in order to take care of them. So could you tell me your insight there? And have you had an experience with someone, even personally, that we could relate it to?
There were so many instances that we needed testing done. Nobody was even there to take. First, you had to write a bunch of orders in forms just to get a CAT scan. Then you had to take that CAT scan to so many offices to get a signature. We used to have little golf carts, and we used to, us as doctors, we couldn't wait for the assistant or the nurse to deliver these papers. It would take days for people in the hospital when I was doing the VA to get care done. And I was in the Houston VA. I worked at the Houston VA for a while.
Houston, Texas.
Houston, Texas. And it was better than it was in Chicago, but it was still, things just moved very slowly. And the appointments to get things done, you go in there for months. You have somebody that has a mass in their lungs. They're going there for months because we have to get this approved and that approved. And the paperwork, they need to streamline, just like it was a private practice. I don't think they've done that yet. I haven't been back to the VA as of late, but it never got very good. As far as when I was there, it was still very, very slow, and the care was very slow. The doctors were good, but it took a while for them to get appointments and get their stuff done.
Wow. And what about in a personal connection to you as well? So we know that the system needs more help. So the emotional side of this, I mean, what is your experience there? I mean, the PTSD, the 22 a day, there's just so much that's there that, with your own experiences, what do you have to say in regards to that?
There is a lot of PTSD. There is a lot of anxiety. There's a lot of depression. A lot of, vets requiring medication to try and cope with that, or service dogs. I don't think there was enough of that, enough care for that, or enough, attention to that when I was there. I think they just kind of will admit them to the alcohol unit, and then they'll leave when the weekend's over. Kind of that kind of thinking. But I guess I'm hoping that things have changed. I don't know. I'm not quite sure they have as much as we want them to change, or they need to change. The vets really need a better system. I think they deserve that.
Well, do you have someone next to you? We met for a certain reason. And as a doctor that's been around this, and you've experienced it, do you have someone that's around you that's not here? You have a veteran that was close to you and your family and your experience. And it is the reason that, we're using the word tribe tonight, because you have a direct personal connection too. So not only are you a doctor that's been working for the VA in your past, and then a doctor now who's been around all sorts of stuff. I don't want to get too heavy on the I know I'll get a lot of questions. I want to do a follow-up segment is what I would like to do, where I get some more of our veterans and our families who have direct questions for you. I really wanted to ask you, as a doctor and as a person too, within the community of giving and seeing, your personal connection to someone that's a veteran. Do you mind sharing some of that story?
Well, I don't have a personal veteran, but I've worked with so many veterans that I always have a very soft spot. I worked at the VA system for many years. I worked at the Naval Hospital. My best experiences were there. I was the project manager for the Great Lakes Naval Hospital, because they brought the ER from the medical school over there. So I would sit at the table with, the captains and all the higher ups, and I kind of felt like I was part of the whole system. And, you get insights as to the stories of things that are going on, and you kind of realize, wow, this is for real. And I also have a personal friend who's a doctor who was in Iraq. And he's a great doctor now. But his stories were pretty horrifying for what they went through. In the line, of service.
And that is someone, so there's a band, and you happen to be connected to them. And we're going to say his name, because we always say their names. We definitely want to always remember and who that is that's no longer here. Who is that?
What, from the band? No,
Yeah.
that was another band. The Ashes was somebody that had passed away. No, our band, everybody's alive.
No, yeah, I know. So within Tribe, you have a personal connection, and so do I, to a music member who has lost their bandmate. And then so we're bringing in our music mission along with the connection of a
Right.
veteran who has, there's so many veterans in music, and there's
They
a
really are.
therapeutic,
Yes.
therapeutic outlet is what it is. And so through that therapeutic outlet, I wanted to ask you about that experience of theirs as a doctor and understanding just how difficult that is on someone and their and the whole impact of their life.
Well, it's their impact, and also death around people is difficult to deal with, especially when you see people close to you pass away, whether it's family or family in the field, because these
Yeah.
guys and women are very close, and you have to understand that when you treat them, you can't just make generalizations, and you have to understand where they're coming from. And sometimes, they're angry, and sometimes they lash out. Most of the time, they're grateful and they're very respectful. So you have to, just support them and do what is right, and treat them as any other person, and go from there.
Well, and with this person that we've lost within our tribe community, I was wanting to say his name, and that the struggles of the emotional ends of serving are a major coming home from serving in the first place. That's a major step, to go into our service, and then to be in the service and receive the type of care that you receive. You really need more care. You need more quality care. You need someone that doesn't have to run and chase as a doctor, someone to get just a form to get a CAT scan and have days in the hospital. On top of that, the emotional part where you're back home and out of the service, and how in the world are we supposed to take care of the individual? That part of it is it's tragic is what it is. And so having had someone that I have someone extremely close, but you in the music industry mission that we're on in regards to foundations and things, that band member, the struggles of dealing with coming home are just, I don't even know the word. I do know that our co-host, Lori from the Tree of Valor, is coming in here. She's backstage, and she wants to come in and ask a couple of questions too from the Tree of Valor. That's Lori. She's very close to me. So the Tree of Valor really, they deal with this on a daily basis too. So we care for our veterans as Blue Star families. They call us Gold Star families. Gold Star families, you've had a loved one in and now they're not home. Blue Star is active duty. Lori is actually, hi Lori, welcome to your show with the Patriots Inside the Wire.
Hi,
Lori,
I'm so sorry.
Well, it's fine.
Having
Lori
all kinds
is
of
the
technical difficulties today, and I
co-producer.
have no clue. I have no clue what earlier conversation's been. I feel like very out of the loop with what's happening right now.
You are okay, Lori. I've got you covered. This is Dr. Garcia. She's going by Gloria. Gloria, this is Lori.
Hi, Lori.
And I had asked her questions based on just being a doctor at the Naval Academy, and how she's discussing how slow just to get a CAT scan. Like you can't even depend on your assistants or anybody then, because people are spending days in the hospital just to order a basic test. And then I'm at the part where I'm asking, the emotional impact of having served, and then the process of coming out, the toll that it takes not only on that individual, but the whole family. Like there's no cohesive program there. And so from a doctor's perspective, Gloria, do you see where I'm going? I'm trying to figure out a path that connects the two. What are we doing besides individuals? So I'm a Gold Star mother, and I'm proud of my son's service. Laura, you're a Blue Star mother, and you're running the Tree of Valor, an organization. I have a foundation, Sergeant Two-Step Foundation. Laura, you know all about that. We'll discuss that later. But being the people who are the families, that's where I find the people doing the work. So the ones who have someone connected to them have started these groups and organizations and foundations, and they're on the ground 24/7 putting in the work. And the Tree of Valor is one of those organizations putting in all the work. So I'm wondering, where is the system? Where are the doctors in this? Like, I'm not trying to poke at you, but as a friend, I'm looking and going, help me understand the disconnect. And if you're over here as a doctor and you're viewing this, like, I can't imagine how that would feel. Because look, I know you have a big heart, but as a doctor, you're standing there. What in the world do you do when you're working for the Naval Academy and you're working with the VA and you know this person needs help, but what do you do?
It's like hitting a wall many times, because when they would come home, they were lost. Like, they didn't know who they were, what they were going to do. They don't have a job. A lot of them couldn't get jobs, and they're just lost. And I didn't see the support services when I was there. Now we're talking maybe 10, 15 years ago. I'm hoping things have changed, but there wasn't enough of that. I don't think there was enough to get these guys back into society where they felt they were good and mentally with good mental health, and that they had, jobs that they could make a living. And I don't know if that's changed. Have you noticed any changes? Are they just probably not, right?
I'm looking at Lori for this one. Lori, I'm looking at you for this one. Lori's with the Tree of Valor organization. She's shaking her head. For everyone that's not watching this screen, go to Two-Step Tribe, the number 2, Two-Step Tribe on YouTube, or the production team, Patriots Inside the Wire, and you can check that out. She's literally shaking her head. Lori, you're shaking your head. Tell us your thought.
I am, just because I've heard the story so many times where there's no transition for them. And just recently I've read this, I apologize that I don't know where who I'm quoting when I say this, and it's not verbatim, but they said, especially when you take a young person who is 18, and as my son said to me, Mom, I had to become a man and a Marine all at the same time. So when they say we don't know how to acclimate back into society, they were never part of it to begin with. So it's all foreign. There is no, meshing back into something you were never part of. So, it's a shame that we really need to go the whole way back to, like, the Native Americans would, like, again, don't know where I heard this story, but, tribally, they would, after battle, they would take their warriors and, before they could come back into, like, the tribe, when they would return home, they would gather that warrior and spend time with him and make sure he was good, right? Then he would come back in. There was some sort of process that occurred there. So there's no process for that. As soon as, from what I can tell, as soon as they realize that you're not going to re-sign, you're left to your own device. I mean, I actually heard the saddest story. I don't want to, like, be Miss Debbie Downer, but just because the truth isn't pretty doesn't change the fact that it's true. I just heard a story recently of this young man who I think he had an injury in the service, and it ended up that he knew he needed, like, I guess maybe he had a TBI from that, right? He knew that he needed help. He reached out. They would not, the help never came. He went to the VA as a service member to get help. They said, we can't help you because you're not a veteran. He begged them. His mother begged them, so much so that they said, we will help you one time. We'll help you one time. It wasn't enough, clearly, right? So then he finally gets out. Now he's a veteran. He goes back to the VA and he says, okay, now I need help. And they say, oh, you have to wait such and such amount of weeks before we can help you. The next day, he takes himself out at the Veterans Memorial Park across the street.
Oh.
Yeah, that's all bad. Gloria, I mean, I don't understand, like, being able to be a doctor and standing there and your hands are tied, right? If you decide, screw it, I'm going to go do this, what happens? No. You're going to lose your medical license. And
not only that, the red tape is I would not be able to do anything, and I think there needs to be a phase when these service kids get out, that there has to be part of that service should be transition, and make sure they get jobs, because a lot of times they don't know what to do in themselves. So
Yes.
I think that's a big lacking, and it's a big lacking in the VA system. It still takes forever. Um, that's for these young guys that are giving their lives. I think we could do better than that, right?
We definitely can. I mean, it's
I don't
definitely a
understand it.
situation, and that's why I was asking Lori. Lori, you've been up to a lot there with the Tree of Valor too. And then while we had Gloria, I was wondering if you had any questions. I mean, first, being at the Naval Academy, you seem to run into a lot of veterans that would be in that background, and then also you've been heavy on the ground lately, doing a lot of work. So I was wondering if you had any questions, like her hands are tied. Like we can go beg for help. That's what we're doing. Like people are literally begging, like, I am sick, something's wrong, or the pressures. But the solutions are with the community. The solutions are with the people that are working in a community. So as a doctor, do you turn around and have like a network of supports that you go into the community, and then you have to just, like a corporation, you have to just say, I can't do anything to fix this, but I have to do something in the community?
It wasn't, we couldn't do anything at the time because, there were so many layers to the bureaucracy that actually the non-medical people had much more power than we did, because they're the ones that, push the paper and set things up. We can just holler and try and do things ourselves. And actually we would bring those forms to all these different offices because the staff wouldn't do it. So it was very frustrating. Now the Naval Hospital was active duty, so they were getting, they didn't have those problems like the VA. These were active duty, and they were getting the medical care, and things ran a lot more smoothly. But the VA system, that has to be fixed. If it's still the way it was when I was there, it has to be fixed.
Well, clearly it's I even heard recently, there's certain organizations that, like, there would be nice if there was another number that these service members and veterans could call, because people think when they dial 988 that you're getting some different number than the VA, and you're not. Your first step on that might not be the VA, but then as soon as they ask you if you're a service member or veteran, you get sent right over there. So you're not getting some, I mean, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but there are organizations that actually in certain states that sorry, that's my cat. There are certain organizations in certain states where you can call a number and actually talk to a person. But it's hard to advocate. I don't want to say I don't want to advocate for them, but they don't work in every state. So then heaven forbid you be someone who calls that number and they're like, oh, sorry, we don't service your state, or how, because it's a wonderful organization, that the one that I'm thinking of, but I don't want to mention it, because if someone calls and then it's you don't live in the right state. Yeah,
it does vary by state. It does vary by state.
And I wish if there's somebody out there who actually, and I'm sorry to focus just on this part of, veteran life, which is, the 22, which is really more like 40 something a day, but it's on my heart. And it's something that we, work with a lot in our tribute, as well as, veterans who are with us, clearly, and veteran, service members, even like Tracy's son. So it's not like we're, just in that, group of people, but they're the moms that I hear from, because, in my heart is like, you already left and you saved me. And then you came home and I couldn't save you.
Yeah.
And that's why it just hurts my heart so much that we cannot. I mean, how can it be this hard to figure out that there can't be some, obviously that's coming from a place of ignorance that because I clearly don't know, right? I don't have the answers, but it just seems like there should be something
As doctors, what we try to do is do the best that we could, and so fight for them. We like push things and get on the phone and try to be supportive and be a patient advocate. But as far as anything else beyond that, it was the system just didn't allow that. It wasn't user friendly for us.
It's clearly not really that. You don't need that different. Tracy, we can't hear you. Your mic's turned off.
Yeah, sorry, I was talking to the person production backstage.
Okay.
There's technical issues, everybody. I noticed when you tried to get in, Lori, I'm not sure what was happening, so bear with us. It's fine, everybody. You're getting to the part of the show that you're going to want to be involved in anyhow. Not that all of it isn't. Don't mistake that. I meant the tech issues in the beginning. So I have production in my ear, literally, that I'm talking to. So you're good, Lori. I'd like to continue the conversation with Gloria, being boots on the ground is what I call it. And she's on the opposite side of that table as a doctor, and then your hands are tied and you have to go in the community. And now I'm going to go call Lori. Lori, you've got the Tree of Valor. How the heck do we support the people? What do we do if we can't get it done on the inside? We have to go to the outside. And then going to the outside means going to the very same families who've already given their family member, typically. So some of the most involved, I don't mean that someone isn't, so don't mistake my words. What I mean is, if you look within the communities, the most involved high impact organizations usually have a direct family member. That's what we say we get referred to as either a Blue Star family or Gold Star family. And then there's Silver Star. So Silver Star, you're hurt, you're injured from serving, and you're not active duty now. You need support forever. And actually everyone does, to be honest with you. Every single person while they're serving, during, before, after. I mean, it's a process that has not been thought out and redone. We have to go back to the beginning. We have to get to the basics of humanity and say, look, we have to take care of the people. And that means, Gloria, that we go directly back to the mothers. We go directly back to the fathers, the brothers, the sisters, the aunts, uncles, that literally lost their service member or had their service member serving, and now life is not okay. And Lori knows about this too. I mean, we to change. What are we going to do about it? And what can we do? Now, as a doctor, recognizing the emotional toll and trauma, was there a program at the Naval Academy that you could actually say, for that, like for the emotional part of the trauma?
Well, at the Naval Hospital, we didn't, they had some psychiatric things, but I don't think it was enough, probably. And a lot of the patients that we saw there were younger and they were new to the military, but in the VA system, they had all they had was a psychiatric ward, and most of the time it was filled with just like a detox, and so it really, I personally don't think at that point they were doing much except when admitting them for detox, and then they would just, once they were detoxed, they'd leave, and that was it. There was very little follow up, and it was just kind of like a place to, okay, they're going to hang out for the weekend, and then they just let them go. So I don't think there was a lot of follow up on that. I really didn't, see a great deal of, aftercare.
What about during? You mentioned detox. So I'm talking about emotional. So there really wasn't something you could say, well, here's a support program, or we have this going on. There's really just a gap.
I don't think people came. I mean, all the admissions that we would get, because we would admit, everybody, whether psychiatric or medical, and most of the admissions were 90% detox. I don't think I ever admitted somebody that came there and said, I need mental health. And I think that's the way the program ran. I think that's all they concentrated on.
Well, yes, and probably you're going to have to say it's probably because when you were there at that time, during that time frame in time, So we're using the words detox. We're talking now about alcohol and drug abuse within the system because you don't know to say the word mental. You don't know to say the word like I am emotionally and mentally in need of help. When you walk into a hospital or the Naval Academy, and quite honestly, serving active duty, to walk up to your commander or anyone and say, I'm mentally not okay.
That's
You're out of the service.
You're out there. So we didn't see much of that there, no.
So I'm looking at Lori, like when I heard that word, Lori, I guarantee, because she doesn't have any expression on her face, but I'm like, Lori, help me out here. You heard that word. I can't even imagine someone walking into an office or a hospital and saying, even as a person, I need help mentally, because they would, I mean, just think about it. I hate to refer to movies because we've got real life happening, and some of those are based on real life. It's true what you see in there, but you can't walk in and say that. You don't even know yourself, and that's where alcohol and drug abuse comes into play. And so we've got a whole detox set up.
Okay, so let's talk about the other elephant in the room, though. Let's talk about the other elephant in the room, the women. Okay, so we're all women. So we know, right? We know that from, at least from my experience, that I think almost every single woman who we've lost to, that has taken her life, is because she was, am I allowed to use the words SA?
Yes, that's a yes, you are.
Okay, she was sexually assaulted, right?
Yes.
So if she tells, then she has to worry about the retaliation, the bullying. Then she goes into self-isolation, right? All these things, and or she doesn't tell, and then I think sometimes the problem gets worse, right? Or she takes her life. Like it's just, I mean, sexual assault, and it's not isolated to women. It also happens to men in the service as well. So I guess my point is that, I mean, that's a whole other issue, is that that's happening. And then because it's not handled properly, just saying it for what it is, then that leads to that other problem. So did you, in your experience, like, is that, it doesn't seem like that's handled well. I mean,
sexual assault is what you wanted. You're talking about women, and we're switching up some heavy topics here.
We're men, but we're at the end. We just got through June. It was Women's Military Recognition Month, at least in North Carolina. It is right, and so I happen to have really good friends who, people on our board, people on our team, friends who have a lot of experience with this. A lot of moms that have now started their own foundations because of this. Or better yet, the moms who, my favorite, the mom who the moms, they tell them that their child, that their daughter took her life, only to find out some horrific details that make it almost impossible that she did that, right? It make it impossible. And so now they're told one thing that they know isn't true. This isn't some big diss on the military. You just have some bad apples in there, just like you have bad apples everywhere, right? The grocery store, the laundromat, the car lot, everywhere. I mean, there's mostly greatness among us, but wanting to address the problems, right? It's just, I can't help but be curious, how you, what your experience was with that, if you saw that.
The support services for women were very, very scant, if non-existent, because we knew it happened, because you hear the scuttlebutt, but they would rarely come in. I think maybe I had one rape kid, maybe two. Wow. But you knew it was going on because you heard stories from other people, and that it was happening. But the services for women were very scant, and especially at the VA, there was nothing. I mean, there was very little for women in terms of that type of situation.
So the one or two that you had to deal with, what in the world do you do? Because it's what in the world do you do?
Well, we do what we have to do as doctors. We have to check them out and do the rape kits and all that. And then the administrative end of that goes up the chain. I don't know what happens. Most of the time, they keep a lot of things under the rug, you know. So I never heard of anybody getting convicted for anything. Let's put it that way.
I like the truth. This show is all about the truth
Yeah.
on Patriots Inside the
Right.
Wire. So I like
and
it
they-
when someone says the truth.
And that's part of my issue, though, is that if so, you tell me that my child has taken her life. Let's say it's a her, right? If you tell me that, and then I find out, okay, no, that's not exactly what could have happened here. And I'm not going to drop names. These people are going to come on as guests later, another show. But now you tell me that it might be suicide or it might not be. Okay, there's only two choices. If it's not a suicide, that means it was a homicide. But we're not going to investigate it. We're just going to leave these parents to flounder like fish on a beach. And especially when they know that they know who at least sexually assaulted their child, right? They know that. Well, I mean, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to put this all together. If someone was sexually assaulted and their child
and
passes,
I'm not smiling
was it
because
a
of that.
suicide?
Yeah,
That's a heavy burden. A heavy burden for a parent to carry that A, you lost your child, B, now you don't even know how, right? You don't even know how it happened, you know, and that's just And Ron said soldiers were falsely accused as well. I'm sure that is true. I'm glad you brought that up because I'm sure there's people, and I've heard those stories. I have definitely heard, oh my gosh, Rhonda was telling me, without mentioning any names, a horrific story of someone that lost his rank. I think he isn't even in the service now. And it was purely based on just ugliness from a spouse, right?
I know that story. Yes, we'll do a show on that, Lori. I actually have someone too that's actually connected to something that my own son ended up having to untangle. And he was one of those that said, absolutely not. He'd knock your head off before he was going to allow, there is a repercussion that's major. So as a doctor, as a service member, we're talking about being able to ask for help. You should be able to go anywhere and ask for help. Rhonda has a point over here. We've got
isn't that what the Brandon Concerta Act is? Isn't that what the Brandon Concerta Act is?
Yeah, I'm trying not to bring up organizations in our show, especially with this heavy subjects, unless the person is either here or, so I don't want to really directly call out her organization, but we do have someone that has a son that was serving. And so another mother who is actively, heavily working on the ground, one of many, and her organization has been so involved in the Navy side and in really every veteran side, but she's very focused in that area. But Gloria would have been working with the Naval Academy and the VA way before Brandon was even joining the service. So applying this to life, let's talk about the subjects that we're talking about here. We're talking about being in the service with subjects already that happen that shouldn't happen anyway. We should already have something going on in place. This is our country. This is a system set up by the people that we put in place to make these adjustments and these changes. And if we get involved as we, the people, and we start making the changes there, that's the way that you make things happen. Is you've pissed off the wrong mom, you've pissed off the wrong dad, you've pissed off the wrong brother or sister in the wrong group, and they get together and they decide, we are going to do something about this. And so I think the foundation of the very show, Patriots Inside the Wire and the Tree of Valor, is getting in the community to get out there, find the people that need the help, get the help they need, and then group together. So Lori's, I do it too. We work with multiple organizations, and the only way to do this is not by one person getting out there and trying to take it all on themselves, but by grouping together as a whole. And so what she's mentioning was Brandon Concerta, and Brandon Concerta, beautiful active duty soldier serving. His mother's on a mission, and we'll be sure to get her on. She's been on in the past, the Brandon Concerta Foundation. But again, Lori Egeter sitting in front of me from the Tree of Valor. She's an organization. She's a mother. She's a Blue Star mom who has a soldier who's a veteran who's served. And I don't think a lot of people know it.
Soldier.
Yeah, yes, I knew you. I knew it was coming. I was about to say. I was going to say, "Ooh!" I was going to. I know I'm going to get slapped for it, but everyone out there, it's a heavy subject. So cut me some slack here, Marine. I know that. And I've got Frank here talking about. He spent 5 years straight in command as a captain and never had a single complaint brought to him. And it makes him wonder if it was just not being reported, because he would like to think that it wasn't the case. What's your response, Frank? We love Frank, by the way. Frank's an amazing individual. So as a captain for 5 years, not one single complaint. And then Gloria tells me she's a doctor who might have had 1 or 2 at the max cases of sexual assault.
Well, when was Frank in? When was Frank in? Maybe he didn't have as many women also, right?
We're going to get Frank on the show.
That wasn't considered an insult, but you know what I mean? If you have less women, right? Like before you put women on a ship, this might not have been, again, not saying women shouldn't be in the military. I'm just saying that,
yeah, we are attracting a major number right now tuning in to understand. We brought up some heavy subjects, and now we need to back it up with closing in here and saying Frank is in, he's talking about 2 different units and both with females. How long ago, Frank, would you say that you were in general? So I know that Gloria, how long ago were you at the VA hospital and the Naval Academy?
Geez, I would say, oh my gosh, maybe 25 years, 20 years.
Okay. And so we're talking about, 2 decades,
Yeah, maybe 25.
And the changes that come around for the females. So Rhonda's saying as a commander, and she had 4 brought forward, and there were female and 1 male. Yes. Yep. And Frank in 1989 to 1994. So that sounds about the same time frame as you, Doc. Mm-hmm. Is that right?
Yep.
So you're both talking about the same years. And so, Laura, you have a point. You're saying that there's more females entering into the military. I'm saying there was more of a stigma. There weren't as many people that would, because your statistics would still be there. It was not as okay to come forward. It was a situation, especially if you want to talk about being female. I'm really trying to support it as a whole unit, but every subject we're talking about, dissect this down to the basic layer of a human being, and then understand that none of it's okay. And of course, do you understand what it would be like to come forward? I mean, and now you want me to talk about going back.
But I know people who've been in the service, like they were in the service, like I want to say, Desert Storm, right? So we're talking a while ago, right? Who had repeated, like more than one time, right? Assaults. And none of it was ever taken care of. I mean, and I almost feel guilty that I'm like, going down this path. We very rarely go down this path. I personally don't think we go down this path enough, because, if we're going to be an advocate for these parents, you can't just keep collecting these stories all the time and never, it's like saying you're going to have someone's back, but you never do anything with it. Like, I can't stand those people. Oh, I got your back. I got your back. And then when you need them, they're nowhere around. Right. So these families share all these things with us. And it's nice to know that. So we appreciate you, Gloria, that you're like allowing us this space to, this time to be like, do you know, have you heard of this? Is this something you're familiar with? Because these moms want to know.
Yeah.
I don't. What answer do you have to that, Gloria? This is a heavy subject. Thank you too for those tuning in. Don't forget the second half of the show. We do have something coming that will not be as heavy, but this is something that needs to be talked about. So I'm glad that we're doing it. So we do have a second part to this show that I want you to stand by for, because it is someone's birthday. And I know it's weird to bring that up in the middle of this, but I want to make sure that we do not stop that discussion. But we're still on the topic right now of the topic of with Gloria. We're talking about some pretty big deals. I mean, within the military, not having a place to go report, and you're a female, we're talking about sexual assault. We've talked about detox centers are set up, but nothing if you need it for emotional help. The red tape and the VA system. You popped in, Uncle Rhino, on a part of the heavy show that's the most heavy subject there could be. And to come forward, and the people that are doing the work are the moms, the dads, the brothers, the sisters. It's the community, the groups that are out there that come together now. That's where you get the help. You get the help by going to the people, but there's a real disconnect. I mean, there's, Gloria mentioned she's only had 1 or 2 cases working within the VA, working within the Naval Academy, and being there, that a female even reported a case because coming
then
forward.
You have Rhonda, right? Then you have Rhonda, who has
Rhonda, and we also have Frank, captains and commanders in the military talking about, falsely accused, heavy subjects. I mean, and the answer I have to tell you, because we're talking about some heavy things here, I don't have the answer, but I know that if we don't get to the root of going back to the people in the community and getting on that road instead of going to the system, then we definitely are always going to fail. So Gloria, I'm coming to you as a person. I'm coming to you from the community, and you're graciously giving us an inside look into your world on the opposite side of that table, where you're trying to administer help to save a life for someone that's saving lives. They go from saving lives and taking lives to some of them, unfortunately, their lives are no longer here for multiple reasons, and it's directly related to their service to our country. So, this is a heavy subject, to where this is a subject that needs to be talked about. And I know we've got a lot of people that are like tensed up right now, especially. But like Rhonda, you can't do anything if the behavioral health hospital commanders and battalion commanders and the CID are all not on the same page, because nothing will be done. You're just going to do this.
That's the way.
Nobody's right. And nobody's uncomfortable when you're talking about tense. No one's as uncomfortable as these parents.
Someone in our,
answers.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like, people that are really uncomfortable are the people who are sitting at home wishing they had an answer.
The VA. Everyone in here is like the VA. So if you're going to rely on the VA only, what's your answer to that?
Good luck.
Well,
so having said that, I have to tell you something. This is exciting. One of our representatives is hooking us up with the new secretary of the VA. I cannot remember his name right this second, but he's putting us together with him. So bring it on, people. Bring on the questions, because whoever Trump just appointed as the secretary, I want to say Collins, maybe. So if he's going to really put me with this person, then it's just opportunity, like literally just happened like last week, this email that I got. But I would encourage the moms to
and dads
just send me a barrage of what are the questions you want answered while we have the opportunity.
And I do want to mention, I see your message here that while in the Army, just the mention of asking for professional help was seen as a weakness and discouraged.
That's true.
That's a true statement, Valerie. It's a very true statement, right, Gloria? I mean, as a female and as an individual serving, male and female.
I know that the women, if they got raped, they weren't going to say anything. They really weren't. Very, very few. I said maybe I had one or two. I can't even recall.
Mm-hmm.
So
sad.
they're afraid because they weren't going to get anywhere, or they just, it was just difficult to deal with. It was probably harder to face it than just ignore it and just pretend it didn't happen, which is horrible.
Mm-hmm. Well, and Amber has a point here, feeling as though being taught strength, mind and body in the military is to not show weakness, meaning why say anything?
Right.
Well, the worst thing ever in the military would be to betray one of your brothers and sisters. There is no place in hell that's low enough for someone who would do that.
Definitely.
There is,
Right, but
there
the
is
first
no
betrayal,
worse.
But there's two betrayals, right? And I say this for women. Like a woman in the military can have three enemies. She can have the foreign enemy coming at her. She can have the enemy beside her that's supposed to have her back, right? If she gets attacked or assaulted. And then she has the enemy above her who does not take care of it. So she can have three enemies, right? So that whole your brother always have your back. Well, if the military brother didn't have your back, I mean, that really puts a woman into this weird position. I'm assuming I'm supposed to be like, this is supposed to be my brother. I'm supposed to always have his back, but he sure in the heck didn't have mine. So that is just, I mean, that's
it's a societal problem. It's societal. It's bigger than our military culture. You can find it in the number one threat to the credibility of a woman's statement is another 20 women who had a regret about something or were about to get in trouble about something, and they said something deceitful. And the body will repair itself given an amount of time. The spiritual wounds from something like that take much longer. But that being said, a reputation will never recover. And those men who've been falsely accused, which the road to hell is paved with those men and their reputation, because that's always put on page 1. And then the recant or the discovery that comes later, that's back on page 32 at the bottom lower right corner. So this is why people move slower, and it kills the true justice. It kills truly fiction.
Yeah, the heavier our subjects are getting, the more we keep getting cut out of meta, just so y'all know. We're being nice.
Yeah. 100%.
Our subject tonight is definitely causing some disturbance in the flow. So if you want to find the show on Two-Step Tribe, the number 2-Step Tribe, or Patriots Inside the Wire is the production team, Patriots Inside the Wire. Please be sure to follow that. We're glad to have you all over here. Amber, I brought that up. I don't think Uncle Rhino saw that. She was saying, amen. You have the right point. You have the exact right mindset, and Rhonda's very engaged in this conversation, and Lori and I know each other well as Rhonda. Betrayal is alive and well, and if it brings negative attention to you or pushes you out of a group, then nothing will be said. I mean, it's one of those things. It's like to help the person is to get assaulted. So these men and women, I'm saying the same thing that's being sent to me, literally. Because it's me talking, and it's like they're feeling the same thing. But I'm going into the men and women that join the military to protect us all, and then they're not being protected when it comes to the situation. And there again, it's men or women. And ironically, I'm not kidding you. As soon as I'm going with this, Amber has the exact same message. I mean, I can't even get it out quick enough before she's right on it. So Amber, we're reading each other's minds over here. And Rhonda too. Rhonda was talking about the betrayal of a group. I know exactly what she's talking about. You're someone who stands up in a group of people, and this is coming from Rhonda Clark right here, y'all. This is not just Tracy the Port, but I'll throw my name in there. If you're one of those people who stands up and you say, no, and I got your back, are you going to be someone pushed out? Are you going to be someone
You'll
disliked?
be attacked, but you have to hold your ground, because
Thank
that
you.
will do two things. There are other people that have the same trait in you that will report for duty. They've just got to see somebody standing up and not backing down, and then they will come. You won't be alone forever. Then on top of that, even more powerful, there are people that have that inside of them who never knew it or forgot, and you will remind them and wake it up. So you will have the ones who come to rally around you, as well as the ones who are re-inspired to return to their original glorious factory setting. And that will happen.
I like that statement there, Uncle Rhino. We're going to wind down in regards to the show with Patriots Inside the Wire and Dr. Garcia. Gloria, we know that we put you in the middle of some very, very, very hot, like, this is real life. This is stuff that I can tell you, I've lived it, and I came through on the other side of these very subjects. I'm not afraid to tell you that this very subject has happened to me. I wasn't serving at the time. I've had a kid serving. I've had family members in the service every generation. But being a woman that stands up, do I stand up and say that's not okay? You bet you I do. Do I probably have less friends than you? Probably. But do I have quality behind that? Because I do.
You have less people, but more friends, because the people and friends are two different things. Just saying.
You know what's funny? About this whole thing? When I was a kid and just a little teenager, my first job, I'm not going to say where it was. But let me tell you something. At that very first job, when I could see that my boss was super inappropriate, right? And I went home. I told my mom. My dad had already passed, so I had no one that was going to come and like knock him out. My mom said to me, "It's your word or his. You're little Lori. No one's going to believe you. You might as well quit." And I knew that he was doing this to other people as well. So, but I learned that lesson early on, that you might as well just that was what I was. God love my mom, but it's almost like for people in the service, you might as well. It's your word against theirs.
That's a cultural virus that's been spread everywhere. The greatest trick they can ever play on you is to make you think you're alone. The greatest trick they can ever play on you is to make you believe that no one will believe you. Just like the devil's greatest trick on Christianity was making people think he didn't exist. Okay. So, I mean, it's all a big facade. When you show up and you hold you will not be alone. One way or the other, you will not be alone, but you have to hold and you have to be strong. Your defiance for what is right will inspire those to rally around you. You will be amazed what happens. The more who rally, the less they are inclined to accept a compromise from the other side.
Yeah, and I want to say to Amber, she really stepped up in this broadcast. Rhonda did too, talking about subjects. So did Frank and Gloria. We've been talking about heavy subjects, and Amber was like, "Man, we're like on the same wavelength here." I'm okay with stepping up and saying
y'all
yes.
are serious. I just heard I was gonna get to hang out with 3 good-looking chicks, and then I log in and we're all like in deep, serious conversation. I'm
I wish I would have come in later.
Right. I'm trying to gather myself. Hold on. Yeah.
But again, Rhonda, as private, it happens daily. It's real in the young kids. From the underserved kids in the community, the youth, to the women and men from every age, from the very start of if you have a parent or not. Like, I didn't really have parents, number one. So I had to grow up fighting. I had to grow up saying, no. And, y'all be surprised. One day I'll get into a little of that. It's just, I'm wired that way. So I don't know.
We all keep hearing that. We all keep hearing this. So she's going to tell us someday.
Well, Uncle Rhino knows some of my story more than most. And I don't normally get into that. But I'm okay with saying, yeah. Has it happened to me? You've been damn right it has. Have I gone and chased down and done the right thing? I can stand here today and tell you, hell yeah, I have. And I'll do it again.
People who never fail can't tell other folks how to get up. People who've never been wounded can't tell other people how to avoid it. All the pain that we carry, the scars we wear, those aren't things to be hidden. They're to be celebrated, because it was something that tried to get us and it missed. And here we stand today to use that to help other people, or it was all for naught.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, we're wrapping up on Patriots Inside the Wire. Dr. Garcia, thank you for joining us on this. This is more than a topic. This is something that in our world that we need to take care of. And we say thank you for joining us and tuning in to Patriots Inside the Wire with the Tree of Valor. You can always find us every week live. You need to go check out Patriots Inside the Wire. You need to subscribe there. You need to subscribe to Two Step Tribe, both on YouTube, the number 2, Two Step Tribe. It's very easy. #tribe. We're a tribe of community members coming together in a mission to make a difference in the community. So we're going to segue into that difference. We're going to move into the second half of our show right now. And so we have to close that topic and tell you that we will be coming back to you with guests. Lori from the Tree of Valor has guests who will be directly talking on this topic. And so stay tuned to what we will be bringing to you. And we will definitely get in touch with you. Rhonda, my God, you just said Article 15. I know that one in and out. We could go back and forth on that one. Yeah, it makes me upset too. I see what you're saying here. I'm going to get in touch with you, Rhonda. And she always brings her soldiers. Yes, I know her very well, actually. So, and always believing in the person, like always doing your homework. But the wrong thing to do is to not believe and have some of that in there, and then find the help that's needed within the community with the people. And then be aware that sometimes you're making the right decision. You might end up standing there alone, but it is okay to do the right thing. And if along down the road, it helps another person and it doesn't hurt them, or they might get attacked, or there's someone falsely accusing. We've talked about everything on here. There's so much that we have to do another segment. So we're going to wrap this up and say thank you for tuning into Patriots Inside the Wire as a doctor, Gloria, and in these heavy subjects. And even when we asked you the question about sexual assault, Lori brought that up. I mean, you just immediately gave the truth. And that number astounds me that, it was so few, but I knew it was true. I mean, it's a subject that we know too well, and we want to make sure that anyone out there knows that. Speak up, but please call 988 if you need help, or someone that is in need of emergency help. You better call 911, but 988 is there for you 24/7, and there's plenty of community organizations. You've got the Tree of Valor who's here right now. They're doing things within the community. We're going to segue over and say thank you for tuning in to Patriots Inside the Wire. Stay tuned for the second show, Two Step Tribe, coming to you live, literally as a surprise to Uncle Rhino. He has no clue. He popped into a show, that is true, but he popped into the show on the subject. It's his birthday, everyone. So it was a surprise. Yes. So the surprise, Uncle Rhino, we're glad that you got to this part, because it's really good to have your voice and your insight when you bring up a relevant fact of your knowledge from your side. So thank you for tuning into that. Let's segue over. We did bring you in for your birthday. We did not bring you in to put you on the hot seat.
I'm like a train. I take a nap under the bus. I'm not worried about going under a bus. I'm a choo-choo train, Mama. Choo-choo, baby.
I don't even know what to say to that.
Yeah. I ain't scared of no hot seat. Yeah, COVID had a Uncle Rhino warning. That's all I'm saying. Yeah.
Well, if you ever need anyone to make you laugh and change up things out of the heaviest show topic, that's Uncle Rhino. So Uncle Rhino can take something that is literally like the heaviest thing that you could possibly be dealing with and turn around and make you smile like that. I mean, I don't know how you do it, Uncle Rhino. I mean, there's got to be a secret, but happy birthday to you. We were trying to surprise you But also, we have the topics every week coming to you from the Tree of Valor and Patriots Inside the Wire. So tune into the websites, find out more about the Tree of Valor and what they're doing. And stay tuned because Lori does have some guests lined up. And we'll be bringing the true stories behind the scenes to you. As we roll over, Lori, into Two-Step Tribe as a happy birthday segment to Uncle Rhino, Gloria is not only a doctor, but now you have a mission. And in that mission, it's mission in music.
That's right. I went from the ER to the recording studio.
That's the rock doc. That's the rock doc.
The rock doctor. Oh, she just switched it up completely. Am I grabbing my sunglasses? Uncle Rhino,
Oh, wait. Yes.
as a tribute, his birthday. Oh, she did it.
My girl. Boom.
I don't think I'd be able to see, but Gloria, your mission that you're on is, taking that mission from the emergency room. You said, rock doc. It's a true story. You're literally so therapeutic. There are therapeutic ways to do, get involved, and is that what you're doing?
It's therapeutic for me. So it's great. I don't mind doing any of it. And that to me, it's fun work. I've always kind of been musically inclined. And my mother's side of the family was all like music and artists, and my dad's was an intelligentsia. So I kind of got both. So that's good. And yeah, I write a little bit. I help with lyrics. I do a little bit of everything. I do the paperwork. That's my wheelhouse, right? It's administration.
And
You got a lot of superpowers.
Yeah.
Yes. And Gloria, so that's, like a therapeutic outlet. Music is a universal language. And so you found yourself the outlet that's how we met, that's community outreach and music, and the same thing to Uncle Rhino, and it relates right back to Lori and I. Lori and I ended up meeting at a music event. So ironically, all four of us on this screen have been out there trying to help people, and then we end up meeting over music. What are the odds?
It's pretty common though. Music is the language that wraps the planet. It's the frequencies that connects everybody. And nature has its music that's totally even more connecting than what ours is with each other. It's got its own set of frequencies. And so sonically, our music is not our destination. Our music is just a tool. It's what we use to do our real work. And that's to connect people. It's to knock down things that are in the way, and it's to lift those up who need help so they can get up and over whatever life's throwing at them.
It's great to de-stress. It's great for mental health. And a lot of the doctors are musicians. They have little bands and that let off steam on the weekends, so.
Y'all got that engineering brain. Like all the doctors got to have the same, that you're really good at analytical things and disciplines like the mathematics of an instrument. Y'all are terrible at signing your name. Can't anybody read what y'all write? Okay, nobody.
Can't read my writing.
Yeah, doctors got terrible handwriting, but by God, it means something if you can just figure it out.
Horrible.
I'm trying to wear my glasses for you, Uncle Rhino, but it is very hard to see. I don't know how you do that.
It's not fair. I see in the dark. It ain't fair for everybody else. I don't want y'all struggling.
It's very difficult for those of you who are tuning into our podcast and radio, the radio station. I'm trying my best to wear sunglasses while doing the interview like Uncle Rhino always does. And now Dr. Garcia is doing it too. I am like, man, I have to get up next to the screen. And Lori's got her glasses on in general. She's like, y'all are nuts. I'm not going to put on sunglasses. Right?
I would, but
she's shaking her head. And we got a happy birthday, Uncle Rhino. Yes. Happy birthday to you, Uncle Rhino.
Thank you. Sending big love right back.
Yeah. So we're segueing into the second half. And of course, the Tree of Valor is my partner through and through on Patriots Inside the Wire. Everyone's saying happy birthday. Lori, you let me know. She's an hour ahead of us. Lori is. So when she needs to leave the studio, she needs to leave because she will. But But
That's
stay
our North
tuned.
Carolina people.
But stay tuned because Lori has some special guests lined up to come forward with us on our show, Patriots Inside the Wire.
Next week is
Thank you,
Jason
sweet.
Ford. No, Jason
Ooh.
Ford is next week. He's
Next week is
Navy pilot.
Jason, a Navy pilot, Jason Ford. So you've got
An
to tune in
amazing
next week.
story. Amazing story.
Next Wednesday, tune in here live and you will find the Tree of Valor and Patriots Inside the Wire. That is an amazing story. We're going to segue into the birthday. We got you, Uncle Rhino. We took you in from so the Wednesday show is not a typical night. You know, we're on multiple nights. And the only way to get you was to say, I need help. I said, I need help. You're going to have to come help me. Lori can't get in. But the truth is,
I really couldn't get in.
Y'all were using Lori for bait. That's what it is. Yeah.
The lie became true.
Told Lori, just run around in a cripple, run around in a little figure eight right there, in a little circle. Yeah.
Electronically crippled.
We all were.
Yeah, that's how they get us. That's how they do it.
She said, use the link I sent you. Use the link. I can't use any other link, but I still can't get in.
Yeah.
Well, we got you here.
If I'm ever lonesome and I just stand on the porch, either somebody's going to let me in the house or they're going to call somebody with a badge to come wonder why I'm standing on the porch. Either way, I won't be lonesome anymore. See, problem solved. I fix things.
God made it so that way Tracy wouldn't be telling a fib.
Facts.
See?
Oh my goodness. Rhonda, it is Uncle Rhino's birthday. So it is Uncle Rhino's birthday. They think it's Lori's birthday. It is Uncle Rhino's birthday. So Amber's pointing it out here, saying happy birthday to you. And again, it's not Lori's birthday yet, everybody. I know
Lori's birthday just passed and she's doing a birthday fundraiser. So get on my Facebook page.
There you go.
And
there
so
you
I
go.
can get more red, white, and blue trees for Rhino.
There you go. See?
Sorry, that was shameless.
And we'll be having more events. We're having a lot of talks as Two-Step Tribe hosting monthly events, monthly gatherings and concerts. So there's more that we'll bring to you from Two-Step Tribe, Lori, that is in the works. So we're talking about monthly, not 3 a year or 4 a year. We're talking about pulling off a concert every single month in multiple locations. So stay tuned for that. He's shaking over there because he's been the one on the calls working on it while I'm over here trying to surprise him. He's been busy talking about how do we set this up on an ongoing basis, because I'm tired of talking. I want something to be done where people can attend without just going to a memorial or a funeral. Yeah. How do we throw something that's a celebration of life, and how do we support people?
Well, everything's in 3s and 5s. It's a divine architecture. And if we're going to be doing the Sergeant Two-Step Foundation, we're doing the concert series, we'll set that up to go through the small towns, set it up where it's really connecting with the grassroots. Simultaneously, we have the much larger that is Patriot Fest and Stars and Bars, which is a huge thing. It's got an opportunity to stretch out across the Gulf into Appalachia, up into the Midwest and all down through Texas. And then we got one from the West Coast to go east and go north up into the Northwest, and that's Freedom Fest. We've been working on all 3 of these. So if you do all 3 of those and you have them all working in concert with each other, number 1, we're going to be running like rented mules. Number 2, we're going to be really making the maximum impact, and we may have to do it smaller, and we may have to just hit a region here and a region there and a region here a little bit to start the beta testing as we do it. But once we are able to establish the methodology of what we're doing, it's not hard to get others to fall in. Per our earlier conversation, we just have to stand and hold. We have to stay true to it and hold, not blink, not run, not, because everything and everybody's going to always give you a reason why you can't. But there's the doers and then there's everybody else. And the doers always find what we lovingly call a workaround.
Well, stay tuned. We're coming up with Uncle Rhino's birthday surprise. So you'll stay tuned, we're going to play a song for you. So we're going to take a second here and let you tune in to something as we get set up for you as a surprise, Uncle Rhino. So we're wrapping up, saying thank you for tuning in. Don't go away. We have a big surprise, unless you don't like music or you don't like the information Uncle Rhino's about to go down that path. I'm going to bring up a song, and I usually let Lori here at this part of our segment bring that up. And I'm just going to show a few pictures so that we can wrap up into our second show. Lori, your favorite song got remixed. Raise Up Your Glass is our intro, got remixed by some wonderful musicians who changed it up. Uncle Rhino, I could do that one, or I have one.
Uncle Rhino's song? Uncle Rhino's song?
That was actually my song. Raise Up Your Glasses is mine.
Yeah, that's Tracy.
Maybe
Yeah,
I'm thinking
but it's his. Anything that's Tracy in music actually is Uncle Rhino. I'm glad you said that. Anything that is mine is actually in Uncle Rhino's category. You really need to talk to him about anything I do in music. That's just the deal. I can do one of two things. Uncle Rhino, since you're in here, I have Long Shot and Right on Time, or I have you know mine, and that's where we usually go on Patriots Inside the Wire, because we've never had an artist. We try to get our artists to come live on a Wednesday, but you're an artist here on a Wednesday, and I do have two of yours in here that you have.
Those two that you and I talked about today, I was looking through, and we got somewhere around 380 of them all in. That I've got celebrity artists, the people that are internationally known, that worked with me. They either wrote the song with me or they came in and sang on it. I wanted to get their flavor of their stuff. And one of my dear old friends, the first one, let's do Right on Time for them, because many of y'all may know Big and Rich. Me and Ken often go way back from Culpeper, Virginia. That's Big Kenny. I myself and Rory Lee Feek, we gave Kenny that nickname, Big Kenny, from Big and Rich. And that was us that started that. And I'm 6'5", Rory's 6'3", and Kenny was 6'1" or 6'2". I can't remember. So since he was the little one, we called him Big Kenny. And it just kind of stuck. And his heart is bigger than all of us. He's a beautiful spirit, fiery spirit, beautiful heart.
Big and Rich, and we are. It is true. We are talking about them, and I do have that song loaded up in here. It is Big and Rich with Uncle Rhino that he's talking about.
Yeah, it's Big Kenny. John wasn't on it, but me and Kenny wrote this, and Kenny sang on it and knocked it out. And it's something that we'd done together, and it's called Right on Time. Y'all had never heard it, so I was going to break that out of the vault and see what y'all thought about it. Some behind the scenes, never before heard stuff.
All right, let's grab that one, and we will do that. And it was a never before right here. Big Kenny from Ken and Rich and Uncle Rhino, and it's called Right on Time.
Said was hello, and I started falling. Yes, I had a moment. In that moment you came in. When I looked into your eyes, they started calling. They were just like windows to the way you felt within. And I know things don't come around wasn't looking, your love came running, running, just like a rainbow to the cloudy place that I've been in. I know you are feeling what I've been feeling. I've been listening, your heart is talking straight to mine. Funny, some things don't come around when you expect them. Love may not come when you call it, but it's always right on time. Right on, right on, right on time. Love is always right on time. Right on, right on, right on time. Love is always right on time. Funny, some things don't come around when you expect them. Love may not come when you call it, but it's always right on. I know you are feeling what I've been feeling. I've been listening, your heart is talking straight to mine. Funny, some things don't come around when you expect them. Love may not come when you call it, but it's always right on time. Right on, love is right on time.
Hey, hey, hey. Talk about right on time.
Hello.
How are you doing? Welcome to the show, Ty E, the Washington State Freedom Runner, but more importantly, part of my family. How are you doing, Ty E? Serving active duty. He's jumping in for Uncle Rhino. This is a special surprise. Ty E, first, I love you and thank you for all that you're doing. And I can't wait to connect with you privately, but they're taking your time to do this right now. Thank you
We
so much.
love you, kiddo.
Hello. How's everyone doing?
Well, you're doing good, young man.
Hear from you. You're right on time. I mean, it fits perfect with the song. I was like, you're right on time. You just wrapped up an honor series I saw for Sergeant Two-Step.
I did.
And so what did you do in order for that? I don't know if Uncle Ronald got to see it because Facebook hasn't been he hasn't been on Facebook lately for his own choice. So what was it you did, Tai?
The 22 plus 5 plus 3 push-up challenge. 2 sets of that. For anybody watching and does not know, every Saturday I give a shout out to one of our fallen soldiers, soldiers, sailors, Marines, what have you. And I give a little background to them and their story. And I do my push-ups in honor of them. The 22 plus 5 plus 3 push-up challenge, 22 push-ups for the veterans every day who take their own lives, 5 push-ups for the for the first responders every week, and 3 for the active military every day.
Yes. So thank you for that. He's the Washington State Freedom Runner, but more importantly, right now he's serving for our country, active duty, and we wanted to try to grab him. He is in those pictures running with that flag. Tai, I'm going to give you a minute here because we brought you in to say happy birthday to Uncle Rhino.
Thank you, young man.
Happy birthday, sir. It's always a pleasure.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're proud of you.
Very, very, very proud. So we know that you took some time. I can tell you're in a room that's definitely at the military. You can tell if you want to come look at the show, go to Two Step Tribe. You can tell he's literally in a room with concrete and the walls are painted.
They're always
Thank you
painted
for
so
the
festive.
messages.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I wanted to tell
definitely
him, Tracy, I really wanted to tell him thank you for those messages that he leaves on the post for Lexi. She smiles like a mile wide when I say, Tai wrote on the message, like the one about the prom. And oh my gosh, she just lit up every time you leave her a message. So thank you
that
for
is
doing that.
Lexi
Of
there.
course, no problem.
His daughter, and Ty's very active, even with Patriots Inside the Wire, Two Step Tribe, or just me as a person and as a mom for Sergeant Two Step. He's constantly there checking in, and his family is actually a part of the whole production. So thank you, Ty and Chief. We could not do what we do if it weren't for you. And thank you for serving, Ty. But more importantly, just thank you for being a part of my family. And I love you. And taking that extra time that you took. And you're getting huge, by the way. My gosh.
He is, ain't he? That's a good looking for all the ladies that can't see this man right now. I'm fitting to have you a whole bunch of young ladies calling you that. I'm that uncle. I'm a bad influence. Yep.
Like, y'all have to go look at this. I'm like, wait a minute. I can show
I don't
y'all
think
the
you looked
picture
like that
already.
before.
Ladies, he is built like a Greek god, an extremely good looking young man, beautiful heart. Yes. Yeah.
What are you drinking over there, Ty? Because it's working.
just a lot of energy drinks. It's what the Army lives on.
Oh,
But
okay.
those are muscles. I thought he got bit by a spider or ate some peanuts or something.
No,
Because they
he's
say
got lines.
Yeah.
It looks like the whole toy. Like he's got
Yep.
the sculpted pieces.
Yeah. The young ones can't eat peanuts now, so I thought maybe it was one of those reactions or something. He was getting knots all over him or something. Yeah.
He's definitely welted up. Good job, Ty. You look very strong. So don't mess with us. I'm gonna send Ty over there.
Yeah, I did a push up this morning, or I started to, and then I got the red ass and just went ahead and stayed in the chair. Yeah.
Well, Tai, thank you for the happy birthday message for Uncle Rhino. And I'm looking for Gloria's other half, because there's another surprise to this show that's a huge surprise. And I don't see him yet, but I got somebody that has to come over here for your birthday, Uncle Rhino, because we have two surprises. Tai, I hope that you can stay another couple of minutes. Lori, they redid the song Flag. The song Flag that I had. Yes, you don't know it. Tai, you don't know what he does because nobody's played it. There he is. This is Ralph. Ralph is from 100 MeterScream. How are you, Ralph?
How you guys doing? Happy birthday, Rhino.
Appreciate you, my brother.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, nice to see you. This is Ralph, 100 MeterScream. Gloria, don't go away. You're supposed to be here too. Gloria's the director of the Sergeant Two Step Foundation. That's big news. Lori's a part of everything we do in the Sergeant Two Step Foundation with the Tree of Valor. We are partners in everything that we're putting together everywhere, and everything she's doing and puts together with those beautiful, beautiful things. That I'll bring it up again in the case. Pay attention. You'll see Sergeant Two Step in there. Lori's definitely carrying the Sergeant Two Step Foundation and carrying it forward in her mission of everything she's doing for everyone out there, as well as what we do in the mission of our music. Ralph is with 100 MeterScream. They are a band out of Miami, good friends with Uncle Rhino, and they have a surprise on the song that is with Billy Ray Cyrus, Uncle Rhino, and myself for Sergeant Two Step. It's Flag. And it's about, I got a flag. And I did. I got a flag. And 100 MeterScream went into the studio. They went in the studio, took the song, and now they have a studio version of I Got a Flag. Ralph?
Yeah, well, we just don't have that. We have another surprise, but
I got both.
Yeah.
I set you up good. I've got both. So don't let it out yet.
Well, I'm still trying to decompress from that heavy subject you guys were talking about earlier. I was sitting there just like trying to just float away. You should give me some of that Appalachian Bud get some.
Yeah, I came in, man, trying to do like I had these real cheesy one-liners, thinking I was going to impress, Laurie
Yeah.
and Tracy, tried to be all funny and stuff, and I walked into that serious topic like a wood chipper. So I just had to sit myself still somewhere.
There's a lot of pros to having a medical doctor as the manager of your band.
That really is.
One of the few cons is that she does spot drug checks on the band.
Oh.
And all she has. Oh yeah, she's checked me oh yeah, especially our bass player Shauna, and especially our drummer. So I got a feeling next week, guys, we're gonna get cupped. Yeah, no drug unless it's a tropic she prescribes to us, but that's about the only one that's allowed. But
you good? You good? Because crazy don't show up in a P test. That's all I'm telling you. So you good, my brother.
And I want to wear sunglasses. But I'm not cool enough. So I have to wear now that I'm a little longer in the tooth. I wear my reading glasses for you. So this will.
Oh, my man.
There you go.
Well, son, that ain't long in the tooth. That's just sexy. That's right there. You can't bring sexy back if it ain't never left. You heard me?
Well, Uncle, we did a flag, but right after.
Don't tell him yet. Don't tell.
Okay, then you'll see.
Tai, I want him to hear this song, because I know Tai's like at a military base, so we have to kind of rush real quick. I don't want him to not hear it. But Ralph he's done two things. Ralph has been busy with 100 MeterScream in a studio. I want him to have the credit for this because this whole band literally went to work. 2 songs, and I can't tell you the second song yet. And Ralph has literally, he's hours out of the studio, hours to do this as a happy birthday to Uncle Rhino. Let me give you this one first. Here it is on Got a Flag, originally with Billy Ray Cyrus, Uncle Rhino, and Tracy Two-Step, and now 100 MeterScream.
Laced his boots, took the oath, raised his hand, gave us hope. Just a kid, stood so tall, silence where he used to call. Got a flag, but we want our sons. They gave me a flag, hold it tight. Said he was brave, up for the fight. Don't need a symbol, don't need the lies. Pray for the souls every night. Just want our sons. Got a flag, but we want our sons. Tears are falling, world moves on. Screaming inside while they play the songs. Got a flag, but we want our sons. Sky is blue, feels so gray. Every step drifts further away. Boots he wore, they just say. Can't touch his face, can't handle it. Fought for a dream, red, white, and blue. Cost of freedom, they won't tell you. A mother's heart never heals. World is turning, no big deal. Got a flag, but we want our sons. Tears are falling, world moves on. Screaming inside while they play their songs. Got a flag, but we want our sons. They don't see his face when they salute. Don't feel the holes left in my roots. They talk about honor, they talk about pride. Who's gonna hold me when I cry? So loud, feel so cold. A hero story left untold. Why the brave
All right, everybody.
Beautiful.
Their new song out of the studio. Flag from 100-meter-scream. Ralph, excellent job. The guitar, every piece of that. Tai, that one rocks. That one's got some rock behind it, right? It's like it's got some bite. I love it. And what happens with you? Have you played that live, Ralph?
No, but we're going to in New Orleans. It's gonna be
You've actually played it somewhere because I know you've gotten a response. Haven't you had a response from people?
Well, some people had heard the recording,
yes,
and it was a really strong response to all the people who had heard it. So I didn't want to say anything to you beforehand. I wanted to get an honest response from you. But yeah, it was people from all different sorts, in the studio and all that were hearing it. They're like, wow, and it hit them pretty strong. I'll tell you, when you were playing the song, you're putting the collage of your son and all that. That was pretty, with the song, that was pretty hard hitting, especially that moment. The moment that I know you had the picture of you grabbing the flag, that was pretty heavy duty. And then your son. So look, we were honored. Yeah, that's
true life. That's not just in the movies.
I know. So that was we were honored to work on this song. Really, I want to thank you and Uncle Rhino and Billy Ray for giving us that opportunity. I know the rest of the guys in the band, they wanted to be here, but one's on a movie set right now working. The other guy's teaching guitar at the University of Miami, and our drummer James is under about 800 pounds of boxes that fell on him at GoPuff. So that's all. But yeah, that's the story of 100-meter-scream. But they were all honored to be on there, and we're very lucky to have Avery, who, by the way, he was a lead guitarist on this, who's from the great state of North Carolina, and he really ripped on that. He teaches jazz guitar at the University of Miami, adjunct professor. He's joining us now as a 100-meter-scream the guitarist, so he'll be hopefully in New Orleans. You guys will get to see him rip live.
Make sure when you talk to the band, you tell them that Billy Ray Cyrus sends his love. He is as appreciative as Tracy is on any time you step forward and give of yourself, and anytime you step forward and you honor those who gave the ultimate sacrifice. He is a great tribe member himself, just as you are, and we're grateful. You both make the tribe better by being a part of it.
Well, we're grateful to him because what really, I guess, how this happened is he heard that song that I had written for my buddy Brian, who's also a medical doctor that Gloria had mentioned, who was in Iraq. And I wrote that song, Can You Hear Me? Which he had told the medic, which it was pretty, for me, just the stories I couldn't handle anymore. So I wrote that song. And I guess it caught Billy Ray's ear. And that's how we got to this point. So yeah, we just say, look, guys, we're just grateful. I guess things are meant to happen when they're meant to happen. And
that's how tribe works, baby.
Yeah. Pay attention to the whistle in the beginning. It's Billy Ray's signature mark. He's got a big old whistle in there. It's there. Danny Jones Productions is saying happy birthday to you. Thank you, Danny Jones. We're know it is your birthday. Thank you, 100-meter-scream and Billy Ray Cyrus in here tonight. This new song. Now, we have a major surprise. Ralph, now you can go to that one. And Tai is still in here, the Washington State Freedom Runner, but really he's Tai. When I look at him, it's like we're all about family. We're all about taking care of each other. So Tai, when you have to go and click leave studio, we understand that. You're literally standing in a room. So you're welcome to stay, but I know if you got to go, you got to go. Same to you, Lori. You're an hour ahead, so you know what to do.
As long as you want to sit here with us, you got a seat at the table, guys. This is your house.
Yeah, I wish I could introduce Tai to my daughter. Remember, we're talking about that, Rhino. There's a shortage of real men.
Well,
I hadn't told Tai yet, and I didn't tell Chief yet, but I know our production team is behind the scenes listening right now. So if you grab a picture and connect, that Tai is a very, very good individual, so we could make that happen.
Well,
so yeah, meet his daughter.
He might not be available from the looks of it, so
we'll discuss it.
He's got his own gravitational pull in.
Yeah, we not above kneecapping when we got it. I'm just saying. Yeah, we'll make sure there's an opening.
I won't
Yeah.
put Ty on the spot to ask if he's available. We'll keep.
No,
I will. You got to watch me. I will. Yeah, I'll do that in a minute. Are you seeing anybody serious right now, Tay?
No, I'm not.
My man. All right.
Well, then you'll have to tell Mel. You know.
Yeah.
We'll work that out at some point.
All right.
Yeah, there's. But look, Uncle. So we weren't neglecting you. It's just how things are down here in Miami. Things we're right next to the Bermuda Triangle, so things work a little off sometimes, as you well know. But we do have your song completed. Cry Uncle.
Oh,
Yes. Yep.
So we finished it right after the flag song. So hey, I hope we did some justice. I reworked the bridge a little bit to add a little bit more to your lore. So hopefully you'll like it, and it involves a tribe. So see what you think.
it's all when it's made by family for family. It ain't nothing but beautiful family.
We love it. We love it. Here we go. All right. We're going to grab it from 100 MeterScream. Uncle Rhino, you'll tell us after, but we have something in here for you. And so surprise and happy birthday. Gloria, Ralph, the whole band has been in a studio nonstop. 2 hours, within hours today to get this out for your birthday. So happy birthday to you.
And I even had Gloria sing on the chorus there for you, since she's Mamacita for you. So
My girl.
Mamacita.
I'm talking about that's the rock doc, baby. The rock doc.
Rock the Mamacita.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You have to hold on a second as it's loading up for you. But Ralph, while you're here, y'all are an hour ahead too. So I wanted to give you time to talk to each other and say hello as well. So because that's our big hit for you, Uncle. I can't just give it to you. You have to hold on a second.
Yeah, well, listen, I gotta thank the guys again, especially our dear friend Ulysses. He's we call him the Wizard. He's got this home studio there, but the quality that he gets out in terms of what he mixes and records, it's hard to match, man. At least you're going to some big time studio like Criteria Studios down here or somewhere big in Nashville, and we're just lucky to know him. And he at a moment's notice, he knew, he just stepped right in and said, "Hey man, I'll help you guys out." So you'll hear what he did. He also recorded the flag song. So Ulysses Perez, he's a guy called A Scully. So we're always grateful to him. And of course, our drummer James, hopefully his shoulder's better. And of course our bass player Sean, who's right now on some multiple shoots. He's some film, and I think also some show MIA. They were filming right on my block, ironically. The last stuff going on down here in Miami. But yeah, hopefully next time you're gonna catch the whole gang in New Orleans, Uncle. So we're all looking forward to
problems.
Our late night conversations of the esoteric. So that should be fun.
Uh-oh.
Tracy moving us around on the Rubik's Cube, and I got slung clean off the square. Yeah, you twisted me so hard I landed in Lori's lap.
No,
you need to say Lexi would want to say happy birthday if she was here. So just in case she's listening, I know she would want to say hi to everybody. Scott would too, but yeah, I just wanted to tell all of you that.
Yeah. So happy birthday from Lexi. Yeah.
Sending Lexi big love. Sending her big love right now.
Yeah. And Ty's still here. He might be leaving, but he's gone. He's out. But here it is. It is called Cry Uncle, 100 MeterScream. I have no idea. I know that Uncle Rhino knows 100 MeterScream, and Ralph and Gloria Garcia is here. She's with the Sergeant Two-Step Foundation on the board, taking care of all sorts of stuff. You'll see us soon at Cutting Edge Music Fest. Watch out. Here is Cry Uncle, fresh out of the studio. Happy birthday, Uncle Rhino.
I've heard a melody can soothe a savage beast until the fire's raging and it needs to be released. Cry, uncle. Cry, wheels are falling. It breaks your heart in two. You get knocked down on your knees. Just call my name and I'll come running to you. Cry, uncle. Cry, uncle. Cry, uncle. Cry, uncle. I will fight for you. I'll break on through so the tribe will succeed and make us all believe. Cry, uncle. Cry, uncle. Cry, uncle. Cry, uncle. Cry, uncle. Rescue me. Cry, uncle. Rescue me. Cry, uncle. Rescue me. Cry, uncle. Rescue me. Cry, uncle.
Oh man, that's
Happy
solid,
birthday.
guys.
Happy birthday.
Okay, well,
Happy
That
birthday.
is solid.
That was good.
That
Good
is solid.
song.
Now,
Cry.
now it's already, now we got that. The next one's going to be the club mix. Ralph,
That's
Ralph
right.
just said, "Oh my God, yeah, yeah."
no,
Well, I
I'm
gotta
gonna have to
tell
call
you,
up. I'll have to call Electro Horse, and you'll get Uncle Rhino and Electro Horse, and we'll come in there like and turn Zeus loose, baby.
well, I just gotta say thank you to the whole band, 100 Meter Scream. That is their picture that I'm pulling up for you too, to make sure that you see the whole band here is there in the picture that was brought up during the show. So you've got your the guitarist in here who did a lot of work. Yep, look at the band
yeah,
here.
that's Avery.
With the red guitar.
Yeah, who's from the Raleigh, Chapel Hill area of North Carolina. So he's
Yeah.
but he's yeah, really a great guitarist, a lot of different styles, jazz, but he understands our sound really well, and he was excited to be on board. And you know, we're very lucky. And again, you know, Shauna, his bass playing is always, you know, is always right on where it needs to be. And we had Ulysses had to fill in on the drums since our drummer James is a little out of, you know, out to pasture right now. Hopefully we'll get him back into the stable soon. So I'm grateful to Ulysses doing the double duty of doing the drums and you know, recording and mixing this. So we're very grateful to him and
Shout
everybody.
out to Ulysses. Shout out, brother. Thank you.
Yeah, to everybody involved.
And Cry Uncle.
And we're
Woo.
gonna play it live in New Orleans. So the songs are
Yep.
they'll all be there
You
performed.
got
So
it.
you'll see
I'm
live.
flashing that. I'm going to use this. I'm going to do this, Ralph. I'll just set him on fire. Cry Uncle.
Uncle, man, it would. And you want to come up and take, you know, over on the vocals, and we play this. That would be a lot of fun if you want to, you know.
Right.
So
Yep.
yeah.
I was trying to tell Lori a little bit. So we're all talking about Cutting Edge. We'll do a show on it, but Cutting Edge is coming up and we'll all be there. Gloria, you know the dates. You're the one that keeps up with all this administration going on. So we'll all be there at the same time in New Orleans. What are those dates again?
It's August 16th, right?
The
The
14th.
14th through the 16th. It starts
Yes.
on Thursday. I think that's the 14th, right?
Yeah, technically Wednesday, but Thursday's the
I think so,
official.
yeah, Thursday starts and all the way through
Saturday night.
where-
Second weekend in August is Cutting Edge. You can go check that out at Cutting Edge Music and check them out. You'll find Gloria there. You'll find Uncle Rhino. You'll find me. I will actually be there too. It was a surprise
Yeah,
to me.
Yeah, and also Eric Cager, that he's been doing Cutting Edge for what, 34 years now, and I'm very grateful to him, because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have met anyone. It was our old manager John Tovar, God rest his soul, who introduced me to Eric Cager. And I think I told you, we used to manage the Mavericks, actually from Miami, Marilyn Manson and all that. And he introduced me to Eric Cager. And of course, I got to meet Danny Jones, who chimed in here, which we did that cover song, Crazy from Mr. Nelson, you know. And yeah, so we've gotten to meet a lot of people at Cutting Edge. So I definitely recommend any musicians who really wants to try to do something with their music or try to have a career to definitely attend. You know, definitely.
It's one of the largest music conferences in the world. So, and it's in New Orleans, and it's called Cutting Edge, and it will have not just about musicians there. Like, I'm someone that will be there. I mean, I write and I do a lot of songwriting or backup stuff, but in the mission of our work, going back into the community, and how can you do that in today's era and with money and a shoestring budget, literally.
Yes. You actually nowadays you got to know how to do it on a dental floss budget. If you got a shoestring, that must mean you've got a corporate sponsor. Yeah.
Okay.
And they definitely have all the tools for you there. That's how Gloria, because Eric had, called and said, Ralph, you're gonna come. And remember, and they said, well, tell Gloria she needs to come. There's someone I want to introduce him to, which Michelle Weiss Maslin. And she's the one that got Gloria really rolling with like the whole music lingo, contracts and music sync and metadata and all the stuff that most musicians don't know. Like, and it really makes a huge difference. So yeah.
I'm trying to put my glasses on. I'll try one more time for you. All right. We had a comment that I think is the best comment tonight. And it said, it's his birthday and Uncle can cry if he wants to.
Oh, that's cute.
That's coming out of Chief. I was like, oh my God. So happy birthday, Uncle Rhino. It's Ulysses right here. Listen, Ron Anonymous. Listen to me in my country saying that. I love it. Happy birthday.
That baby got all tangled up in her syllables when she was trying to pronounce that man's last name.
Yeah.
It's Ulysses who is here, and he is saying that happy birthday to you. And we've pulled together multiple people. Ralph and Gloria both were I'm talking today in the studio. As I'm in the afternoon, we're all like trying to make sure we've got everything pulled together. And we came up with tonight, we would try to down to the wire, get this out and surprise you. And me not tell you literally for a very long time now. And Gloria, we both have done a great job between all the other work too. We were over here trying to do creative and then turn around and make us do paperwork. We were like, we're going to do a special thing for Uncle Rhino and his birthday and say thank you for what you do. I can't wait to meet you, Ulysses, right there. You have to just pardon me for my accent. I am from Nashville and I live in Texas, but I have a big old heart, and it's all about giving to the community and learning more about how to complete the mission we're on back into the community. And music is one of those healing properties. And the Tree of Valor has been at many music events showing how we honor and set up with a vision to give you the real life of the individuals. And then the music's wrapped all around it. And that is actually how we met, was being at music festivals and music events. So anytime I go anywhere and we have anyone that can set up that part for us, the setup is Lori Egerter. The person over here is, I know, I'm in Texas. Gloria over here, administration, events coordinator, director of all things you got to put a pin to. You need to get a hold of Gloria. Anything events coordinating and setting up and being able to have someone set up on our stage, Gloria, is Lori. So I need the two of you to connect for anything that we're doing so she can do her whole display back there for us. So anywhere we're at, and she can go do that. She is 100% the person who was like you are when it comes to setting us up.
We also have the rounding that up. The third piece of that phenomenal team up would be Missy Wilson.
Oh, she is. So, she's 100%.
Yeah, so that's if you want to know the three queens right there, that's how that rolls. And for
Yes.
Ulysses' sake, I wanted to articulate to Ulysses because we haven't spent any time, but Ralph and Gloria already know I deeply, deeply love Miami and the people in it. And so I just wanted to send that love and my gratitude and thank y'all for your efforts. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your talent. Thank you for sharing it with all of us.
And
Well,
don't
next
forget
time you come
about
down, next time you
107.5.
Yeah, next time you come down, Rhino, and we'll go to one of our hangout spots with the pastelitos or the Cuban food or something. We'll invite Ulysses to come along.
Absolutely. And we made a bunch of friends last time we went. We'll just go down there and make some more this go round.
I can't even imagine all of us in a real environment of a room. That's going to be interesting. In New Orleans, man, if y'all want to see a show for real, you need to show up the second weekend in August in New Orleans.
You need
I
to do a show
guarantee.
down there.
We might have to say no. Ooh, that's a great idea, Lori. We might have to say no cameras allowed.
Nah, give them something to talk about. That's what Bonnie Raitt said.
Ooh, let's give them something to talk about. Yeah.
I let them folks do the best they can with what we give them to work with.
Well, we are willing and ready to come set up. We are willing and ready to set up wherever we're talking on a stage, the visual behind what Lori can do. Missy Wilson is boots on the ground as we speak tonight. Just had a phone call with her. So anything going on for the concert series that we'll be doing, and she's looking into all the theaters, we'll be booking out. We're talking monthly. We're talking something that will happen nonstop. So while Missy Wilson is creative, this woman is a director all in her own, and she is handling quite a bit right now for the Gold Star families. So she's at work as we speak right now. So thank you to Missy Wilson. And we are out there working hard to take care of the Gold Star families right now for some things that are coming up later on in the year with a project that we are going to support. So we will be taking care of and helping. There's a project to build a monument in Houston, Texas in honor of the Gold Star families. And I'm going to reach back out to one of the mothers. There's several of them that are presidents of these chapters that were working with us, and they still do. And they are raising money. It's a national day that people don't know exists, and it's Gold Star Mother's Day. And they're building a monument, and they're looking to get one in Houston, Texas. And that's right there where Missy Wilson is. And so the Sergeant Two Steps concert series is giving to that monument that will be built, one of the largest in Texas. So we will be donating what we can just as a tribe. We've decided that that's the best thing we could do rather than throw a concert. We don't want to just throw a concert and go have fun. We want to do something with it that's a lasting piece that gives to the people. So we will be in conjunction. We'll see. We don't know how much. We're not promising a whole lot, but we're saying we're just getting started. So watch out for us and what we're going to be doing. But we're on board with helping you, the Gold Star families, and that monument that's getting built. Whatever we can do, we will do. So thank you to Missy Wilson out there. Uncle Rhino, thank you to you for coming up with the best strategies of what we will do this year. So stay tuned, because I still don't know what's coming down the pike. The most I can tell you is a whole lot of stuff with the people in the community and giving to take care of others. We'll let you know our next concerts and where they're at and who we're working with. The who is going to be tribe. I can tell you that. The who is always tribe. So we're always working with each other. And then if we work and have someone else come in, you need to talk to Uncle Rhino, Gloria Garcia there, Missy Wilson. We've got Lori Egeter. Leave me in the creative lane and in the tech lane. And from now on, the foundations are set up legitimately 100%. The Tree of Valor has theirs, Sergeant Two-Step Foundation and Two-Step Tribe. So we will be working hard to continue our mission in the community. Ralph, Gloria, you've been in the studio with 2 songs, 2 full songs, and surprising Uncle Rhino for his birthday. And we are more than grateful. So I'm so happy to have you here. And lot of good work. And that guitar, you've got to tell him that, man, he's great. I love it.
Yeah, he's got. We're very lucky. We've always had good guitarists around, but he's been one of the best we've had. And he really gets it. So we're lucky to have Avery on board.
I love it. I love it. What do you have to say? Anything, Lori and Uncle Rhino? Because I'm going to stop talking now.
I'm just humbled and I appreciate it. And I love the spirits of everyone on this call. I love the hearts of everybody on this call. That's truly the greatest superpower you can ever have, is to because everybody that's listening and everybody who's on this conversation right now on screen, we all have devils we're fighting every day. We've got a full plate of things that we're trying to keep, sometimes little, sometimes great. And we all have our own struggles. And even in spite of all that, we stop what we're doing and we turn and we throw an arm out to somebody next to us to just steady them, to pull them up, to say, hey, you're awesome. Just reminding them that they're worth it, and they're not by themselves. And you guys, Lori, what you've been doing, it's amazing. It's beautiful for the families. What Lexi's been doing, Tracy, what you've been doing, Gloria, the healing touch, the steady hand, the conscience that you provide when people need one, and the steady, consistent, encouragement, but holding people to a certain level. That's, and Ralph, you already know how I feel about you, old son. I'm proud of y'all, and I'm proud to be with you, and I'm proud to be of you.
Hey, likewise, Uncle.
You too, Uncle.
Yeah, the whole, I can speak for the whole band and all of us. The feelings mutual, Uncle. I guess it was meant to meet that night and have that 3-hour conversation in New Orleans. So, like I said,
cutting edge.
Cutting edge.
Was it? Oh, wow.
That's
what's funny? There's a book called The Slight Edge. If you ever read it, it's an awesome book, but it's kind of what you all do. The Slight Edge is just about you doing the same thing like every day and it accumulating, like your songs that you write and practicing your music and how it just gets better and better. It's the same thing with the trees, right? Like we didn't start with 200 trees. We just started with like one tree to honor one son that turned into a forest to honor a whole nation. So, but all of us are part, if you ever read that book, it's called The Slight Edge. So it's funny that you're all going to this cutting edge because it's like you took those slight edges and you're just like slicing it, everything like all together. And I did want to tell Uncle Rhino, because I don't know if he knows this. So we added to our tribute these beautiful, these red, white, and blue, what we call American flag trees. But of course, that's just not enough, right? I have to have like the mother of trees. Well, nobody makes anything bigger than this 7.5 foot red, white, and blue tree. So what does this girl do? I get this. Now someone donates, and it's at least 9 feet, maybe bigger, big old fat white tree. And we just got Sherwin-Williams to sponsor the paint so that we can actually paint this mother of a tree red, white, and blue, which we've painted them before, so we know how to do it and we know that it looks good. But using the right paint is what we didn't do before that now we'll have, and it's going to be freaking stellar. So I just want you to have that in your birthday head, when you're thinking about concerts where you want to see like America in color, right? Because obviously it doesn't go everywhere, but the places where it would go, these trees are freaking beautiful.
Yes. And what's on them?
Yeah, I guess I figure everybody already knows that, but it's our military. It's our first. So each one of the trees tells a story, right? Mm-hmm. It's a military story or a first responder, law enforcement, either a fallen veterans or first responders, or people who are like Taib presently serving, or let's say it's your grandpa or anyone who was already serving. So there really needs to be like a 2-step tribe tree where all these people that have been coming in, who've been singing, right, who are veterans or first responders, we are dying to get their military pictures so that we can take, like, this is the perfect example. So this is the kind of wood. So this is my son, but your half of the picture, right? One half of the picture is you in your first mission, your military mission. The other side of the picture then is you now, whatever your mission is now. So it serves as a great example for people who are struggling to see, oh, this guy may have been in the same unit that I was in, or had the same MOS that I had, right? So you give a little bit of information about yourself from the past, a little bit of information about yourself now. We want it to serve as a piece, like, of healing, of hope, that
it's like a
today
sanctuary.
doesn't have to be your last day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like the fact that we have some that are going to be dedicated as memorials, and they're going to honor those who have fallen. And I also love the idea of those that are honoring those who are still in the fight,
right,
and those who are making the transition, because so often it's just either or. And so, I love that.
So just really think about where you want to see them, because it's not something people ever expect to see, right? Like, it's like going to someone's house for dinner and you don't know they're actually this amazing baker and have these badass desserts, right? You're not expecting to see it. And so everyone is like, oh, wow. Like, and then when you're somewhere where they're playing music, oh my gosh, it fits together like a glove and a hand. It really does. People walk through these trees and they're hearing all that music, which is like letting people's guards down, right? And then they're walking through the trees and it provides a safe space for people to then share stories that they may be having in a minute.
That's the cool thing. It's not a shocker, really, when you think about it. The tribe is composed of so many veterans, because obviously, people think it's just for musicians. It's not. It's first responders. It's anyone who serves their surroundings. They lift up you. Your tribe. I mean, everyone who is lifting up everything and everyone around them, protecting those that can't protect themselves, lifting up everything that's trying to stand but is unable. That's tribe. The thing with two-step tribe within tribe is it's musicians. But the thing is the talent is scorching from one end to the other, from LA to Miami. But that's not the number one get into the house key. The number one thing is a phenomenal spirit and a beautiful heart. That has to match or surpass your scorching talent, or it's just not a good fit. The world's full of people who can sing and play an instrument and can write music, and we wish them nothing but love. But to be tribe, you have to always, every day, you have to walk to a rhythm of putting everything before yourself. Mm-hmm. And that's what we do. We are servant kings and queens. We might be up on a stage, but that's just to throw more light on the people in front of us.
Amen.
Yeah, and we'll be in touch about the Washington State Freedom Runner tree, definitely, for Tyee.
Don't forget about that.
She's already working on probably the Sergeant Two-Step, anything Sergeant Two-Step tribe. She's already
working on it as we speak.
She's probably, I was going to say, she definitely makes sure that Sergeant Two-Step is a person. So Two-Step Tribe is our foundation, but she definitely has that taken care of. So I'm definitely grateful.
I need your musicians. I need your musicians to send me
a tree.
Air veteran photos. I need that.
Hold tight, Lovey.
Hold tight.
You don't know what you just did. You have no idea what you just did. Hold on to something and get ready.
I hope so.
It's true.
Yeah.
I have to pivot here real quick into a song. And I have two here. But the reason I'm going to go with this one is because of Tribe. Breaking Point Nation was just there, and they went in the studio too, Ralph. And it's because they took our intro song, and I had no clue they were going to do this. Now, Uncle Rhino is a producer, he got surprised last night and is about to do something with this. But I do have to, because Lori has been part of this from way before we even started the Sergeant Two-Step Foundation and Raise Up Your Glasses. And here's the surprise with what they did. And remember, Uncle Rhino's about to take this and turn around, because we both got surprised last night for his birthday on Raise Up Your Glasses. And as a producer, he'll be doing some work too. But thank you to Breaking Point Nation. I have two that I want to play for you, because it is the week right now that we are in, we're coming upon to Honor for All. Here it is, Raise Up Your Glasses by Breaking Point Nation. Happy birthday.
With hope in our hearts, celebrating freedom, we'll play our parts. From football fields to the ring of the fight, we hold our heads high in this American life.
Raise up your glasses, toast to the night. Service and sacrifice will shine a light. Boots on the ground, we are proud and we cheer. Together we stand, no room for fear. Here's to the heroes remembered in song. Every sweet note, our spirit grows strong. Unity, laughter, we rise and we pray. Freedom and honor, come what may.
Salute the fallen and the price they paid for us to have a little freedom each and every day. May their memory live on when they play this song. And a salute to the troops that's still standing strong. If it wasn't for y'all, this country wouldn't be great. It wouldn't even really be no United States. But this the land of the free, and that flag's gonna fly. So I'ma grab me a glass and raise it up to the sky. Let's go.
Raise up your glasses, toast to the night. Service and sacrifice will shine a light. Boots on the ground, we are proud and we cheer. Together we stand, no room for fear. Here's to the heroes remembered in song. Every sweet note, our spirit grows strong. Unity, laughter, we rise and we pray. Freedom and honor, come one day.
Raise them up, come on, raise them up. Raise them up, come on, raise them up. Raise them up, come on, raise them up. Raise them up, come on, raise them up.
Raise up your glasses, toast to the night. Service and sacrifice will shine a light. Boots on the ground, we are proud and we cheer. Together we stand, no room for fear. Here's to the heroes remembered in song. Every sweet note, our spirit grows strong. Unity, laughter, we rise and we pray. Freedom and honor, come one day. Of liberty, home to the brave, land of the free. Toting those guns, always packing that heat. You're gonna learn a lesson if you're treading on me. A hand on the Bible, a heel on the snake. Protecting our family no matter what it takes. Hard work, clean money, every day. Can't you see we're made in America? In the heart, they will still meet soil. Taught to always stand my ground. Protecting what we love with every shot's recoil. Ain't nothing ever holding us down. Dirty boots and callous hands with a heart that's clean. Lifting others is the way we rise. Earned every dollar, built every dream. Yeah, you know you ain't taking these rights. There's a freedom in our veins and a faith that won't shake. We stand up on the truth no matter what it takes. The rigging the election, politicians are fake. We the people share a bond that these liberals hate. In a world that's always shifting, we are standing our ground. With liberty and justice, we are freedom bound. Built upon these values that will never fade. Cause this is what it's like to be American made. Welcome to the life of liberty. Home to the brave, land of the free. Toting those guns, always packing that heat. You're gonna learn a lesson if you're treading on me. A hand on the Bible, a heel on the snake. Protecting our family no matter what it takes. Hard work, clean money, every day. Can't you see we're made in
I'm a
America?
homegrown, headstrong, certified thoroughbred. Riding round in the pickup and the color of this red. Made in America is what it says. And so do I. You can check my cred. I was a soldier in the army of the US of A. Just like the Captain of America, I do not play. When it comes to who I am and where I'm from, I've been repping that flag ever since day one. See, I was built ramped up, just like my pickup truck. On my front porch sitting, not giving a fuck. Taking care of my family, I don't play with no guns. So if you see my, best believe it ain't for no fun. It's the home of the brave, yeah, the land of the free. And I got something for you if you're treading on me. See, I'm a one of a kind, you won't see no replica. Can't you see I was made in America? Let's go.
Welcome to the life of liberty. Home to the brave, land of the free. Toting those guns, always packing that heat. You're gonna learn a lesson if you're treading on me. A hand on the Bible, a heel on the snake. Protecting our family no matter what it takes. Hard work, clean money, every day. Can't you see we're made in America? First, let us tell our story. The second, let us stand our ground.
I'm American made.
We're always flying, no glory. So you don't wanna fuck around.
I'm American made.
First, let us tell our story. The second, let us stand our ground.
I'm American made.
You know we're always flying, no glory. So you don't wanna fuck around. Welcome to the life of liberty. Home to the brave, land of the free. Toting those guns, always packing that heat. You're gonna learn a lesson if you're treading on me. A hand on the Bible, a heel on the snake. Protecting our family no matter what it takes. Hard work, clean money, every day. Can't you see we're made in America?
Ooh. Two songs back to back out of the studio as well. Breaking Point Nation. Here we are tonight, 100 Meter Scream out of the studio with I Got a Flag and Cry Uncle. It is Uncle Rhino's birthday, and you can cry if you want to. Cry Uncle for happy birthday, Uncle Rhino. New song alert out of the studio, literally played here tonight. Lori, you're still here. The Tree of Valor. We have our Patriots Inside the Wire Productions brought to you special with what we do combined in Two-Step Tribe for Uncle Rhino. Trying to surprise you. We're coming to a close here with 100 Meter Scream. Gloria Garcia, the new director. Anything that you need within our foundation and organizations, we'll connect Gloria with Lori. And you can connect anything you want for a Patriots Inside the Wire show. Please contact Lori at the Tree of Valor. Anything to do with Two-Step Tribe, Sergeant Two-Step, you need to contact Gloria Garcia, and we'll be getting Missy Wilson's information out as well. For right now, look at Uncle Rhino. Just look at Uncle Rhino. We're going to let him have a birthday week, and then we'll put him back to work.
Never stop.
Yeah. Well, he didn't know it, but we were all doing double takes on life. We were like, okay, well, how are we going to all pull this off? I'm like, man, I don't know. That man's all over the place. So did you know that this was being done? Did you know that in Miami, we're down there, Ralph's got the band, and in the studios, we're just all on calls. It's like, I'm in the studio. Wait, did you have any idea, Uncle Rhino, they were doing Cry Uncle for your birthday?
So that's not really a fair question to ask because I always know something, but I make a point to always say, I'm gonna stay out of it because I don't know what it is. I don't, but I always can feel a disturbance in the force. You know, I'm one of those that can be laying there in bed and 3 o'clock in the morning, I'll just open my eyes and know something's moving somewhere. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things. And so I don't follow it. I don't go looking. I just wait because when it's going to come to me, it's going to come to me. And I'm just going to sit right there and let it happen. And that way I'll be like, you know, and I didn't know what was happening, but this has been a beautiful surprise. And I just can't thank you all enough.
I love it. And we want to wrap the show with a song. I'm going to do Cry Uncle again. If you want Uncle Rhino, or he had a surprise. I have one of your other ones in here. You'd have to tell me the name of it. Can you hear me?
Yeah, that's the other one about my buddy in Iraq. Or if it's going to be the outro song, maybe if you have "Take Me With You," that's a happy one.
Okay.
Yeah, and like, you know, Uncle's taking the tribe somewhere special.
Okay.
But hey, Uncle, before you can get Tyree's number for my daughter or whatever, okay, make that happen.
That's gonna happen. We'll get that squared away in the next 24.
Lori, we are now the dating show. We are now have.
We adding this. Yeah.
Matchmakers.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when you have a dating service and a bunch of guitar players. We're going to name this new dating app Bender. Yeah.
What's it called?
It'll be called Bender. Yeah. Bender, yeah. You know, bending a string. Don't be nasty.
I thought you were just going to say banger. Stars.
That's a whole nother thing. Yeah, we're setting that over to the side. Yeah, that's for the late show. Yeah. Laurie just laughed. That encourages me. I'm just saying.
It sounds like a drinking thing. One night bender.
Well, okay. All right. That's the Baptist take on it. There we go. I appreciate you. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that's Southern Baptist right there. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. My girl.
Y'all got me on that one. I'll just be really, really honest. I'm probably red, bright red, literally right here. I was thinking normal. Star Spangled Fingers Publishing Company. I was not thinking.
There ain't nothing normal about us, Tracy. We run right up to the wire and stick our leg through the fence. Go na 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 na. Okay. Yeah.
All right. You know what? I have 100 MeterScream in here, and they've been hard at work in the studio. And now I have Take Me With You, which is 100 MeterScream. And yes, we will talk backstage about our new whatever journey to connect those together. I don't even know anymore, man. You want to connect a musician with a active duty soldier? We've got it. We'll hook you up.
That's right. Yes, please.
We've got it. Take Me With You. Gloria Garcia here and Ralph from 100 MeterScream. Here's Take Me With You.
Finally moving to the middle of nowhere. I've been considering the same idea, but I don't really want to go alone there. I was hoping I could come along. I've been living in the city for way too long. Don't go without me. I couldn't make it. My mind is breaking. Don't take me with you when you're gonna go. Take me with you. When you're gonna go, I don't care where you're going to, anywhere but here with you. Just take me with you. Whoa. It's impossible to stick around. All the commotion makes me agitated. I get so nervous when I'm in a crowd. I guess I never got assimilated. You're the only one who understands that I'd be thinking better in a no man's land. Don't finally moving to the middle of nowhere. I've been considering the same idea, but I don't really want to go alone there. Sorry that I gotta end up here, but I know I'm gonna lose it if you leave me here. Don't go without me, I couldn't make it. It's not too late to take me with you when you're gonna go. Take me with you when you're gonna go. I don't care where you're going to, anywhere for you and to just take me with you. Whoa. When you're gonna go. When you're gonna go. When you're gonna go. When you're gonna go.
Yes.
I loved that.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you so
That
much.
is so my jam right there.
Yeah.
It would have been a different place. There would have been hair flying and head bangings and no contact. I mean, contacts, glasses on. Head, yeah, that's my jam right there, kids. Right there.
100 Meter Scream is definitely your jam and mine too, boy. They have a lot of great music there to check out. So you got to go check out 100 Meter Scream, the band. Here tonight live with us. Actually, 100 Meter Scream is actually on the foundation. So Gloria Garcia takes care of all things that need to be done as far as business. So don't get in her way. She will definitely take care of it and knock it out. Uncle Rhino will definitely take you out in many ways. And I will come behind and say, thank you. Have a nice day and bless your heart. So, and then Lori will definitely tell you where you can go. And I'll say, what the hell? What the hell? What the hell? Happy birthday, Uncle Rhino. I had to do my
Happy birthday, Uncle Rhino.
Yeah, happy birthday. Hey,
I love
everybody out
y'all.
there,
Thank you. Y'all are beautiful to me.
we love it. Everybody out there tuning in, I want to say thank you to you too for being a part of this kind of switch it up on you. There's triple the amount of people right now paying attention, tuning in right now. And it's our mixed crowd. It's, our Wednesday or our Warriors show mixed in with our music. And they all stayed with us. So I want to say thank you to them as well. Lori, it's good to see you. Tree of Valor, Gloria. Awesome to see you for hanging in there. A lot of hard information came out. Uncle Rhino, you are always good at that transition part. I was wondering how we were going to pull that part off. I was like, oh boy, but I never have to worry when you're in the picture because somehow you always come in, kick down a door and say, nope, we're going in this door, Tracy. Bye. And I said, okay, bye everybody. Nice to see you. Happy birthday, Uncle Rhino. There's been many people. It is not just me. Please understand this. It is not just me. This took the work of other people doing things, and I am grateful to them, and I thank you all. And you all keep tuning in to Patriots Inside the Wire, which is Two-Step Tribe, the number 2 Two-Step Tribe. Sergeant Two-Step Foundation. Miss Gloria Garcia can get you more information. Speaking at Cutting Edge with Uncle Rhino. Lori at the Tree of Valor has everything taken care of too. Our partner and production and in life. She is literally our foundation organization, nonprofit organization partner here for life for everything we do. Two-Step Tribe and Patriots Inside the Wire. Happy birthday. Thank you, 100 Meter Scream.
Thank you.
I love it. I'm going to close us out here. And do you have anything to say, anyone on this screen, before I end out the show?
I love you all.
Love you all.
Happy
And happy
birthday.
Happy birthday, Uncle.
Happy birthday. Keep tuning in. We've got more surprises this week and next week and the next. You just never know what's going to happen on this show. We're going to end up on TikTok. I already know it. Thank you so much for tuning in to Two-Step Tribe, the new dating show and rock show, every genre of music the national community of forests that's taking care and honoring our heroes with music and love and a universal language. We love you all. Happy birthday to Uncle Ryan.
This has been a Patriots Inside the Wire production. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Two-Step Tribe, where you, the viewer, are always the rock star of this show. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, and share. We cannot do this without you. Your uncle says so, and you are loved and appreciated. Sergeant Two-Step, sign us out. Let's load up and roll out.